2020, a year of many unforeseen challenges, where all had to adjust to a new reality. And despite it all, gotkushTV was and still is here to serve you. And what a year it's been. We began the repatriation journey with our new show, Voyage to Motherland. We dropped the knowledge as you took your seats in the Kush Community and joined us to hold a meds with the Aunt Doc. gotkushTV invited you to get involved in conscious, controversial conversation and enter Decipher. And when the world went into lockdown, we kept you connected with the Quarantine Convos. We kept our finger on the pulse of the community with coverage of the Reparations Rebellion and the Black Pound Day All Dayer. Not to mention more wordsmith and a slew of new music video releases for your viewing pleasure, and the official launch of the gotkushTV website. We also brought you events including Women of Power and, of course, Blacktricity. Now, in 2021, gotkushTV is continuing to level up the thing. First up, we are pleased to inform you that gotkushtv.com is open to exclusive memberships. Sign up to any of our membership tiers and you will gain access to playbacks from all our events and an ever-growing list of exclusive original content, including interviews, documentaries, and shows such as Kush Community. To become an official member of gotkushtv.com, simply hit the membership tab. Stay tuned for continued updates. Then there's the new shows. Look out for more Decipher, Wordsmith, Hold a Meds with the Aunt Doctor, and weekly episodes of Quarantine Convos focused on health, wellness, education, and inspiration for our community. As always, the gotkushTV film team is available for hire to cover all your events, adverts, infomercials, and all filming needs. Visit us at gotkushtv.com for hire inquiries and more information. Stand by all black businesses through our website, social media, and show content. We have monumental advertising, sponsorship, and network opportunities catering specially for you. Check out the advertising page on gotkushtv.com for more information. gotkushTV is in full flight to join us for the ride. There's 4 things you can do. Subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell to make sure you don't miss a release. Join us on all social media and hit up gotkushtv.com to subscribe to our mailing list and sign up to become a gotkushTV member for exclusive opportunities in the near future. Let us know you are feeling our content by hitting that ever so important button of approval. Comment. We want to hear your feedback on everything we are putting out. So make sure your presence is felt in the comment section. Share. Spread the word by hitting that share button and exposing your circle to the magnificence that is gotkushTV. We are looking forward to building with you throughout 2021 and servicing you with high quality black media production. gotkushTV, beyond discussion, beyond debate, we put the power in black media. Blacktricity, gotkushTV's exclusive. Blacktricity, gotkushTV's exclusive free Kwanzaa showcase is now available for you to watch absolutely free. In conjunction with Ghana, the On the Return series, we have brought the African diaspora experience directly to you. To watch this monumental event absolutely free, simply register for membership at gotkushtv.com and you will receive access to Blacktricity as well as more exclusive content, including Reggie Rockstone, Yusufu Jallo, VVN, Malaku Selassie, Daddy Makes Dough, Tods, King Wiz, Tubada, Ras Ashiba, Mama Sia, Brother Leader Bandaka, Israel, Sister Moots, Carla Marie, Yemaya Sankofa, Goldflow, and a special Voyage to Motherland panel discussion. All this and more, hosted by Nat Nye and Stella B. Register now at gotkushtv.com.
The Women of Power Summit, a monumental event dedicated to profiling the work of African women around the world, past, present and future, featuring Affiong El Affiong, Ronoku Rashidi, the Goddess Neith Knight, Tony Warner, Ari Ma'at and Celine Ekigwe. To watch the Women of Power Summit, simply register at gotkushtv.com for this and even more exclusive content. gotkushTV, we put the power in black media.
Should more African nations join the Year of Utaya?
I would say every descendant of Africa should go home. But the same things are happening. The tax money is still coming back to Europe.
how do we contribute to the decolonization of Africa?
So if Africa is our focus, are we then neglecting the Caribbean?
The year we turned so successful, 1.9 billion. 1.9 billion. All of a sudden, the whole world shut down.
Making sure that people on the continent see the real picture of how we live here.
Welcome from Ghana, Accra.
Enter the cipher.
Quarantine Convos. Enjoy weekly discussions with people from around the world, assisting us in dealing with this normal, mentally, spiritually, and physically. We feature nutritionists, psychologists, therapists, personal trainers, home educators, legal experts, and more, bringing you all the information and inspiration you need. Check out Quarantine Convos every Thursday from 7 p.m, live on gotkushTV.
Sorry about that, family. You know what I mean? There was a bit of a freeze on the computer just a while ago. Give thanks. Welcome, kings and queens. You don't know we're inside. It's gotkushTV Quarantine Convos inside the building on this, the 25th Thursday, the 25th of March, the year referred to as 2021. Welcome and greetings to this edition, a very, very special edition, because our guest, as always, is very, very special, kings and queens. So we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful session today. So as you come through, please like up the video. Yeah, like the video. And also hit that bell. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to gotkushTV. If you are not subscribed to gotkushTV, lick up the bell to make sure you get your notifications, and check out gotkushtv.com for, and you know, start to our mailing list for all updates and all of these things, kings and queens. Be sure to use up the section. Yeah, let us know that you're there. You know what I'm saying? You're with us and where you're with us from. So big up to, who's that? Jolly Vet. That's a serious name, that, you know, Jolly Vet. You know what I mean? We like them name there still, you know. Big up yourself, Sister Jolly Vet. I'm assuming it's a sister, because I can't imagine a man with a name Jolly Vet still, you know what I mean? But yes, kings and queens, welcome and greetings. And as I said, share up the video far and wide and make people them know. Yeah, make people them know. Say, the one and only Griot Chinyere will be joining us for Quarantine Convos this evening. As always, kings and queens, you know, say I don't fly solo when it comes to Quarantine Convos. So it is about that time to bring through the co-host of this fantastic, beautiful show on gotkushTV whenever she is ready. And she goes by the name of Sister Mutt. Greetings and welcome, Sister Mutt.
Greetings.
How you doing, sis? How you doing?
Well, it's been intense. Well, you know, because like last week after the show, so we're having our kind of debrief, and I'm speaking to Chakara. Gotta go.
Yes.
The baby hotline.
yes.
That was full on. I'm still recovering. But it's been a good week, you know, in the sense the baby was fine, you know, all was well and safe. So and it's happy Doula's week this week. So any doulas out there far and wide, Yeah.
So.
Give thanks to the services. Yeah. And, love yourself up and look after yourself. We're doing the work. So, keep pushing, keep rising.
Most definitely, Kings and Queens. All right, we're going to get into a few things before we bring in our very special guest. I'll give you a pre-warning, though, Kings and Queens. Yeah, like it's the last day, yeah, of the first test, yeah, between the West Indies and Sri Lanka right about now, yeah, and they're on the tea break, and we're going to the last session, and you know what I mean? It's a tight match, yeah. So I got one eye on the match. I'm gonna confess, yeah, right now, yeah. I got one eye on the match. So if I randomly shout out one or shot or 4 runs, you know what I go on. I'm just making you know. Pre-warning, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You get me? Like, but man cannot tear myself away from this thing right now. But we're gonna try and maintain, yeah. Professionality during the show. I'm just warning you, though. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna try and zone in, but serious business are going right now. So man's got to channel the energy to the man, them. You know what I mean? To make sure we win this match. But we give thanks still. We give thanks.
It's been a busy week. There's been a lot going on. Let's if we look at the current things that are going on. So this did not make the headlines, no doubt. Yeah, that the Queen Mother's grandchild was born on the bathroom floor on Sunday, and so that was not going to be top news. It wasn't worthy of front page, I think. And,
so whose child is this?
This is Zara. She is a granddaughter, which makes the child a great grandchild, and the baby was born at home on the bathroom floor.
So this is Philip's brother or sister Pitney?
Nobody asked me.
All right, cool. I can't figure it out. So is this one in line for the throne then? Is this one in line for the throne?
No, I think no.
Okay, all right. Cool.
It's sort of this way,
Right. Okay.
It's not coming in that direction. No.
Right. All right, cool.
Some great news though. Some good news. We had a great show last week. It was a fantastic show.
Beautiful show.
I heard this week on the grapevine and that Judas and the Black Messiah will be up for a possible nomination for Academy Awards and Oscars. So we shall take a look and keep an eye on that. But that's they deserve it. They worked hard on it.
That is even more interesting considering our conversation last week. If you check, family, do check out our conversation last week on Judas and the Black Messiah with brother Jared Ball. It was extremely interesting. And I've even got messages, I'm saying randomly, sister, about that show. And about how insightful it was. People really enjoyed the conversation and the different perspectives and them thing there. I want to say shout out to Sister Jolivette for your super chat right here, giving thanks, my sister. You know what I'm saying? Man. We give thanks for supporting gotkushTV right here. Big up the Vital Empress. You know what I'm saying? Inside the place. You know what I mean? I notice I don't get a greeting though, you know what I mean? But it's all good, sister.
It's okay.
You know what I'm saying? You get me? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not taking it personal, you know what I'm saying, out here. You get me? You know the way there. I'm not here, innit? Like
distracted, maybe, just maybe.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You get me? You know what I mean? Sure.
Empress, he's like, how are you, beloved? How are you though? Because there's an interesting conversation that we're gonna have in a minute. Yeah.
I'm good. You know.
How are you?
I'm good. This conversation that we're about to have is in line with a discipline, that I am involved in, when it comes to spoken word. It's a similar discipline, you know what I'm saying, in that kind of way. And so man, I'm gonna enjoy this conversation. So I'm glad about that.
There's a couple other things, other announcements to make.
Yes.
I think we can't do this show without dealing with what is known at the moment as the elephant in the room.
The elephant. It's a very big elephant.
Derek Jackson. I'm sorry, I just got to have a small mini discussion about it. We had a mini discussion prior to the show. Yes. And it's a chin moment.
Yes.
And I feel it for the brother. I do feel it for the brother. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel it for the brother. But I also got to see, he made he dug a hole for himself, obviously. These things happen.
Quite literally.
Well, I think what did for me, I think from what I gathered, he did a reaction video to his video, that he had with his wife, which didn't go down well. It's not going down well. I don't usually get compelled to message in such arenas, but I actually felt compelled to message, and in the chat at some point I put in there something along the lines of, look, because what I see, I mean, there's a lot of things going on with the brother. He's growing, he's going through stuff, but sometimes, and this is a completely different conversation at a different time, but self-sabotage is an issue. It is an issue in the community, but sisters will know, and I'm not trying to be biased, the sisters will know, that if a black man self-sabotages, he goes hard or he goes home. He doesn't do it. He doesn't take shortcuts when he's doing that. And unfortunately, that's what we can unpack it, we can look at it any which way we like, but I strip it down. There's some self-sabotage there and some self-healing. And so my thing is, you know what, bro, you need to go off, take a little vision quest, go, flex your mind, go and take some time out. Don't get on the airwaves, take some sacred silence, and just handle your business. And then, as they say, a setback is a setup for a comeback. So just come back strong, and come back authentic. You know what I mean? And the people then will kind of forgive you. But if you don't come back with authenticity, I can't say anything. I tried.
Well, yes, sis. I'll be honest with you, yes, sis. I was the opposite of you. I didn't feel sorry for the brother. I don't think he needs our sorries, to be honest with you. But what's it called? But at the end of the day, on a personal level, I was not that I'll give facts. Give facts here. I wasn't all that interested in the story, except for the fact that there was such a reaction to it, and the reaction of the man them very much interested me, and it was almost glee, as though this brother who supposedly advocates on behalf of women has been taken down. He's been exposed to be fake and that kind of thing. And this gloating that was going on, mass gloating all over the internet, and I'm like, I felt like man them were a bit too excited, and a bit too happy about the fact that this brother
he fell from grace. He fell from grace.
To not be living up to the standard.
Who speaks about falling from grace is our beloved Sabon from Soulmate.
Right.
Fantastic book, one of my favorite reads actually, and it's a fantastic read, and it's called Falling from Grace. And falling from grace is always about when you're stagnant in your life, falling from grace occurs, and I think it's interesting what you said about the glee, because I came across a word. The word escapes me, but it's a German word. Something. It's a German word which actually means. It's the word that's designed to mean when people are reveling in your downfall. And I think that's what you're experiencing online with the community that he has, is that there's a lot of people who were waiting for him to fall, and he did, he's human at the end of the day. I don't appreciate what he's done and how he's gone about it. The whole way it went about it, but I'm not in his life. I don't know. So
no. On the level and that's why I'm not even going into that too much. I think there's two issues there. The first one is I was watching a Breakfast Club video, and brother Envy, who's one of the hosts of that show, who him and his wife do a podcast, and he has been guilty of infidelity in his life as well. And he was saying, like, when you're in that situation, what you need to do is mend that with the person that you're in a relationship with. That your first protocol is not to jump on the internet, right? And, you don't owe these people, all these big explanations. It's you have to sort it out at home first. And I think that was a good piece of advice coming from a brother who's been married for a number of years. But for me personally, to me it was I'm interested in how this reflects on African manhood, right? And you're seeing a lot of people juxtaposing Derek Jackson to Kevin Samuels, right? And for me personally, I don't like these are not individuals, either of them, that I hold in esteem in terms of being able to heal and mend, in terms of the relationships between ourselves as black men and women, right? And so it goes to show that on both sides of that equation, whether we're advocating on behalf of women or putting women in their place, right, which is what Kevin Samuels is popular for, known for, on both sides of that equation, we're buying into a lot of dysfunctionality as black men, right? And a lot of shallowness. Yeah, none of these conversations are, generally speaking, going to assist us. Yeah, and that's acknowledging the truth on both sides of that equation. But then I don't feel that they're really going to assist us in terms of actually developing more greater levels of functionality, especially in our character as men. Right, you see what I'm saying? So I feel like there's a lot of work that we've got to do in terms of popularizing more meaningful and substantive conversations. Not just not just black woman, you're a queen, and we have to say rare, and man, you need to do this. And not just what's it called? Are you a high functioning whatever? What do you rate yourself on a scale of number 1 to 10? These are all very superficial and in some ways childish. Yeah, kinds of conversation when we're talking about the deeper levels of relationship. So that to me was a bigger issue more than Derek cheating on his wife.
I think it's the polarities of both of them. There's no balance. Yeah, and in the conversations that they're coming from, one is coming from this end, one is coming from that end, and that's pretty much it. And then you've got what they call the manosphere, and that and there needs to be there's an opportunity. I tell you what, there is though. There's an opportunity for everyone. There's an opportunity for the women that who and men who listen to him or don't listen to him. It's an opportunity for people to check themselves and look at, okay, you know what, you don't need to listen. You can get advice, you can get support, you can get structure, but we can also develop our own capacities. It's about empowering people, not making people dependent on you, codependent on what you have to say. It's about teaching unconscious competence. And so I think that's what's missing from how they deliver, is that there's this constant need for them to feel needed. Attention, and from the time you move like that, it's gonna go a particular way at some point. With Kevin Samuels, there's all sorts of things going around about how he's not paying child support, and so everybody's got their thing. But let me take it outside of that, actually, because we had a brother here a couple of weeks ago, Brother David, and I did a great show with him. He's actually asked me to do come on as a panel speaker on Saturday. So that's coming up on Saturday. If you go to my Insta, you'll see the details. You can flash it up for me, please, love.
Yeah, come in, sis. Give me a second.
And so it's really going to be about a conversation for saving our boys. And it's about that kind of type of conversation right now is about making a difference, preserving our assets, which is our young people. So let's get tapped into and let's get back in touch with deep and meaningful conversations. Let's just do that, because that's where it's going to start. We are as a people, we're about community, but we're not about objects, and transactions with each other. And that's when you're coming from a European mindset, it's all transactionary. But when you're coming from building relationships, fostering real community, then you've got somewhere to start with. And when we're coming from our Africanness, we are about connection. It doesn't matter how much technology you have, how digital the world's going to get. People are always going to need human touch and human connection. So that's going to be a beautiful session at 7:00 on the Zoom. The Zoom details. You can check out my Instagram for that and join the conversation. Why not? Just be on.
Give facts. I've got a technical here, so I'm gonna have to bring that up.
That's okay. We can throw it up at the end. Don't worry.
So we'll bring it up.
No worries. We'll throw it up at the end.
Right. We're gonna introduce our guest in a sec, but we got to have the weekly proverb from Sister.
We do indeed.
Go ahead, sis.
Okay, so this proverb is this one. It's a very short one, but I know Sister Chi personally, and she's a phenomenal woman. You lot are gonna love her. And it says, when the music changes, so does the dance. And if you haven't been camping with Sister Chi, you go camping with her. It is the most fun that you're gonna have camping. If you're kind of, oh no, not me, and you know, you're gonna love it. I've been a couple of times where I've camped with Sister Chi, and we have had an excellent time. Yeah, my children love it. So I'm really looking forward to hearing about what she's up to now. I've known her a long time. I've known her about over 15 years now, I think. So I've known her a while, and she's one of the mothers in my community that have helped shape me. Yeah, there's as they come through on our shows, I'll introduce them. But this is one of my mothers, in the community. So you know, I'm giving you guys some of that tonight too. She is wonderful, so much fun, and so vibrant, and so much to say. And I look forward to the conversation tonight. So yeah, let's bring her in.
All right, family. So we're gonna bring on the founder, of Shanti Chi. You know what I'm saying? That hosts the annual and now soon to be becoming legendary, Nne Agwu Storytelling Festival every year, family, along with many other initiatives that she has brought to our beautiful African community right here in the UK. Without further ado, kings and queens, let us introduce you to the one and only Griot Chinyere. Greetings, Griot Chinyere. Ibokwenu.
You know what I mean? I love the way you say that, Shakara. I'm so impressed with your Ibokwenu. You're just like a real Igbo man.
I give thanks. What's it? So first of all, sis, I just think it would be good, just for those who, and I'm sure there's most people will know who you are, but just for those, that the one or two people that don't, just give people an insight into Griot Chinyere.
Ooh, that's such a big question. Okay,
I know. Who are you?
Zoom it in a little bit. Okay, so the shallow end of who I am is I am, like you said, I am the artistic director to shanti-chi.com, which is a storytelling company, and we are here to preserve, promote, and celebrate the art of African storytelling. I'm also the founder of the Nne Agwu African Storytelling Festival. We've been going for 11 years. Woo!
Come on.
11 years ago, when I said I'm bringing Black people into the countryside to go camping, they said, you're nuts. Black people don't camp. But anyway, we're still going. And the whole point of this festival is that we create a village, an African village vibration in Britain, and it's just for melanin-rich people, so that to find our wellness and our well-being. So it's exclusive. I'm a storyteller. I'm a mother. I'm a facilitator. I'm an expedition leader. I'm a nature lover. Yes. Expedition. I teach people, map reading skills, breathing techniques, walking styles, depending on the terrain, compass reading. I get people to enjoy being outside in the rain, in the cold, in the snow, in the wind. No, not just people, melanin-rich people.
In the snow.
In the rain, in the cold, in the snow. And
I was with you, until you said snow.
What do you mean? Snow fights?
I don't know if man can do it for a half hour to an hour and that.
Now, when you get into it and you're snow fighting and you're running and you're laughing and you're slipping and you're sliding, it's fun. Come on,
sure, maybe one day I'll get in. Maybe one day I'll get in there. You know what I mean? But give thanks for that, Griot Chinyere. And so I really want to our theme, right, for this season of Quarantine Convos is focusing on the wellness, the health and wellness of our community. And I know that in terms of engaging storytelling, you don't just engage it. From the perspective of the art or the form, for the storytelling has a function and a role within culture and community, right? So just break that down for our viewers. That is a story, just a story, especially as far as African people are concerned.
Okay. Well, let me talk about my lineage. The people in my family and how. So the griot. So in Igbo culture, we call it jele. DJELI, and it's popularly known as Griot.
Griot. So I said, before you go any further, I just want to show the connectivity, because Jele or Jali, that's a word that you can find in a number of different African languages, particularly West African languages. So like Mandinka, you know what I'm saying, Soninke, there's a lot of languages that have that word in it. And so, yeah, I just want to point that out, because we always got to say everything's separate and distinct and don't have no relationship to each other. And I saw it go. So, yeah, go ahead, sis. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, and also that you either spell it DJELI or DJALI or JELI or JALI. It's pronounced almost similar, but slightly spelled slightly different. Yes. And so the role of that individual is to tell tales, to bring messages, to guard culture, and to hold sacred space with the stories that they tell. And the stories do have a function. And if we look back in my personal history, so on my mother's side, I have my grandmother and my grandfather. Now, my grandmother was the storyteller for my grandfather, who was the chief. So whenever a choice needed to be made in the whole of the village, my grandfather would talk to my grandmother. She would commune with the ancestors. The ancestors will give her the message and tell her what story to tell my grandfather. So she'd tell him a story, and he would listen, and then he'd work out from that story what he needed to do in order to resolve this situation. So that's how storytelling was used in that context. And on my father's side, my grandmother worked storytelling in herbs. So you would go with your own personal story of sickness, wherever it is in your heart, in your spirit, in your body. She would scan you with her hands. She would listen to your story. Then she would commune with the Most High. And then she would create a story, a healing story, specifically for you. Right. And you would hear that story, and she'd have a herbal concoction to go with it. She'd tell it to you a certain number of times, and then you would take that story, and then you would tell yourself that story, and you become your own healer. Because not every day you're going to go and visit her and she's going to tell you a healing story. So it's like flipping and changing the energy that you put into yourself and into your body. So those are the ways that stories were used. So you see, storytelling wasn't a separate thing where you went and you studied and you learned how to perform and entertain. Storytelling was used as part of culture, as part of healing, as part of resolving situations, as part of healing the body, as part of passing on knowledge to the children. You'd have a fire, they sit around it. And when your child was naughty or made a mistake, the first thing you did was sit them down and tell them a story. It wasn't pick up a stick or pick up a belt or raise your hand. It was sit them down. It was sit them down and tell them, listen, when my children were little, if I said to them, do you want to hear a story? They would stop whatever they were doing and they would say yes. That's very, and you tell them the story and they would get something from that story. I remember my son stealing my licorice. I used to have this thing for licorice. I loved licorice. And I couldn't find my licorice anywhere. I had a packet. I knew I bought a packet and I was looking everywhere. I couldn't find it. And then I found it under his pillow. It was only little, under his pillow. I was like, oh, how did it get there? He's like, oh, I don't know. I said, oh, do you know the story about the boy and the licorice? He said, no. I said, well, you know, what he did is he took his mum's licorice, but I know that wasn't you, but he took his mum's licorice and he ate some and he put the rest under his pillow. And while he was sleeping, the licorice grew into his ears. And he's like, oh. And then the licorice took over his whole body. He's like, oh. And I'm like, don't worry, because he wasn't you. And then in the morning, he was just a big licorice. And because his mum loved licorice so much, when she saw him, she ate him. And he was like, oh. I said, no, but don't worry, that wasn't you. Yeah. And then he goes, what happened next? And I said, well, you know, and then when she ate the licorice, she was feeling happy. And then she was looking for her son. And then she realized she'd eaten him. And then he was like, then what happened? And I said, well, then she, you know, pooed it all out. And she picked it up.
Well, you went all the way with the story, innit? You ready?
And then my daughter got involved, and she said, yeah, and then, you know, she put the whole thing back together again, you know, the licorice, but his head was where his leg was meant to be, his arms were where his head was meant to be, and he was all over the place. And my son's face was like, oh. But I said, don't worry, that's not you, is it? And then he said, what happened next? And I said, well, the mum had to pull off the arms and put them in the right place. And as I'm doing this, he's going, he's feeling it. Anyway, needless to say, my licorice never went missing again.
I love that. Well done. That was beautiful. Give thanks for that story there. Give thanks for that.
So stories have a role, you know, in passing on a message, as opposed to, if you're in the right frame of mind, then your first port of call is be cool, tell a story, as opposed, mostly, I think that we raise our hands to our children or we shout because we're frustrated. And maybe because we're disconnected from ways of teaching the next generation. So we don't know what the best way forward. Because that's a story that I full joy telling over and over again. And also the lesson was learned.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall this the order that it went in when I was a child. Yeah, and I'm thinking that majority of the time it was you get two lick and then you get a story. You know what I mean? You might get a story after the two lick. You know what I'm saying? Although I'm sure if my parents were to tell that story, they would say that they gave me about 10 stories before the two lick. And you know what I'm saying? And then because I wasn't listening to them story there, I got the two lick, and you know what I mean.
And then you listened.
So
that's probably
how it did go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm gonna ask you one more question, then I'm gonna hand over to Sister Mo. But in this respect, then, because so as a spoken word artist, in fact, I have a number of what I call lost Ashanti parables. Yeah, couple of which I have performed on occasion, where I get into a more storytelling than a mode than a like a more standard spoken word mode, if that makes sense, right? But it's a discipline and an art form that you know, I'm very inspired and empowered by, partly because of my involvement in it, yeah, but also because it's one of the traditions that we've most preserved as an African diaspora. My parents are from Jamaica on one side, Antigua on the other, and we know that our traditions in the Americas, storytelling is one of the aspects of our cultures that we've most preserved. If I say the name Anansi, yeah, we know who we're talking about, if that makes sense, in the sense of the fact that, you know, we have those stories on both sides of the Atlantic, Rear Rabbit, and all of these things, yeah. So my next question then is just in terms of the connectivity of the African diaspora. What do our storytelling traditions, yeah, teach us about what it means to be African people, about what it means to be melanin rich people, if that makes sense? I don't know if I'm asking a very complex question, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, in the context of that, yeah. I'm talking about in the context of, right, we've been through this 500-year ma'afa, but we still maintain this storytelling tradition. What does that tell us, and what did these stories tell us about what it means to be us?
Well, I mean, one of the main functions of stories is to pass things on. You know, you get passed something on, you add to it, and then you pass it on to the next generation. They add to it, they pass it on. So I imagine that, I mean, we've been through 500 years of the Ma'afa, but there's the saying, as it was in the beginning, so it shall be in the end. We are the original indigenous people of the universe. There in every story, all of our creation stories will tell you that we are powerful human beings, even though sometimes we forget. And we will get through it, and we are getting through it. I mean, we can be proud of our stories. Tell us we can be proud of ourselves. Our actions tell us we can be proud of ourselves. Considering all that we've been through, we're still here. We laugh, we make love, we fall in love, we have children, we make friendships long lasting. They break up, we come back together again. We're here, we're powerful, and we are still the envy of the world, considering all that is going on. And I think that the stories, there's a story, an old story. Can I tell you this story? This is an old story. It's a very short story. Can I tell you the story?
Yeah, most definitely. Do you think?
And it's really poignant to this time. Okay, so this story is once upon a time, a long time ago. There were storytellers that traveled around village to village to village to village, and they would come at certain times of the year, and all the villagers expected them. In the village, they had their own storytellers, and they were the record keepers. They kept a record of all of the people in the village, and they kept those records through songs, through chants, through dances, through movements, through proverbs. So that through those, you go to one of those storytellers, they tell you who you are in a song and a dance. So we had them in the villages, and of course, the one that was married to the chief. But there was the traveling storyteller. And so they were the visiting storyteller. And they would, so this particular elder, she was an elder now, she would sit outside of the village and she would commune with the ancestors. And she would listen to the messages of the ancestors. And then she would come into the village to tell a story. When she entered the village, everybody's so excited, you know, because the annual storytellers here, everybody gathers, you know, sits around. She's sitting under the tree, because most villages, you'll have a tree at the center, at the heart of the village. And this is where all the meetings and the gatherings are conducted. So she sits under there and everybody sits, listens. And she tells them, you have water. And this water is very sweet. And they're like, yes, 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 very sweet. And you enjoy the water. Yes, we enjoy the water very much. And, you know, you say anything to melanin-rich people and they want to dance. Yeah, water, water, And they're having a good time. And they say, well, this water's going to finish. What do you mean? And then there will be more water. This water will be even sweeter. And they go, oh, wonderful. But this water is no good. It's sweet, but it's no good. Don't drink this water. Wait. When the new water will come, it will be sweet, not as sweet, but it will be good and you will be strong. But don't drink the one in between. You must listen. Because if you drink that one, you will go crazy. You will lose your mind. You don't know what you're doing. So please take note. The ancestors have given me this message to give to you. And they're like, whoa, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And they feed her and she goes on her way. That was the last time she ever visits the village. This story is to be passed on from one generation to the next. But the problem is, most of the people in the village, they stop telling the stories. There's one family that keeps the story going and keeps telling their children. But everybody else is moving on, and it's modern times, and, you know, we've got a TV, we don't need to listen to the story. Then it happens. The water stops. And this is generations along. And the new water comes and it tastes sweet and people are drinking it. And that one family says, do you remember the story from way back when oh, that's just a story. That's an old wives' tale. That doesn't matter. It's not important. Oh, but it is important. So they had kept water. They were drinking their fresh water and watching everybody in the village lose their mind, go crazy. All the crazy people were watching them thinking, they're different to us. Why? They must be crazy. And one day, one of the children from the family runs home and says, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming to get us. So what do you mean? Well, they think that we are crazy, we are different. And so they come in to ask us, who are we? What's going on? Why have we lost our mind? What shall we do? And I ask you, what would you do? Would you stand and try and reason with them? Would you drink the water to fit in with them? Would you run and hide until the new waters come? What would you do? I ask you, what would you do?
Yes.
That's a very good question.
It is. It is. Ask the question again. Now I have to go in now.
What would you do? Would you stand and reason with the crazy mob that are coming for you and tell them, remember this, trying to remind them of the story that was told to them, that this water is no good for them and that they'll get through it? Would you do that? Or would you drink the water so that you could fit in and just be part of without, there's less drama? Or would you run away and hide out until it all dies down and then return?
I'll be honest, I'm thinking about it in terms of who I am. And I think that Yeah, the answer most likely is number one.
One, absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah.
The answer is number one.
I think no. Yes, I think number one, but I also think not so much about hiding. It's about shit. I'm going to give you there's 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to give you 4. Right? Number one. So
who said 4?
Exactly. Sister Book can't change the whole story.
I know.
Who said 4? Nobody said 4.
I know. But like Shakira said, it's about the personality. See, I might, I'd have that conversation. I definitely do have number one. And I wouldn't necessarily hide, but I would wait.
Where would you wait though?
Well, now you're asking me to start thinking about where I'm going.
No, but if you're waiting for it to blow over, you have to wait in a place where they can't find you. Otherwise, they're gonna nab you.
This is true.
Okay, so think about that.
I shall.
You would do. And the other question is, I liken that situation to the situation we find ourselves in today. So then the question is, what part of the story are we now?
That's right.
Do we have to make any of those choices? Do we have to choose right now, or do we still have time?
What you just said is the reason why I gave the answer that I gave in terms of considering what I'm doing right now in it. Like this is what I'm saying. So
that's
same. Yeah. So it's a beautiful story.
There's a power in patience. I don't know about the where. And I might, it might not be in this country where I'll be waiting. Yeah, you understand? That's what I'm saying. You have to give me context now.
No, but this is the thing though. This is the thing though, because the location is less important than the people that you're around in that sense. Because if the story is to be analogous to our reality, there is nowhere where that water is not present. If that makes sense, like that water dynamic, that we shouldn't be drinking is not there. I don't know if that place exists, but so it's more about the people that you're around who are trying to preserve the story, if that makes sense, and creating a space somewhere where those people can flourish. You know what I mean? I suppose that's more about but I don't know, man. But good one. We like it. Family, this is what you're gonna get at the Nne Agwu, what I'm saying, storytelling festival.
Absolutely. You're gonna get that.
Every year
your great challenge.
So let me answer the question for you. You're not gonna hide, but you're gonna come to the village and you can have your conversation with the people in the village about how we manage where we are and what we're doing and what stories we create in order to move forward, because as melanin-rich people, we have the power of prophecy. Yes. I mean, that story is an old story, but it's so relevant to this present moment. So do we tell stories about what is happening? Do we tell stories about what has happened? Or do we tell stories about what we wish to see happening? Because whatever we tell a story about is what will come to pass.
All right. Family, I'm gonna hand over to Sister Mo before what's it called? To ask the next question. I do want to say though, big up the Vital Empress, because I did get a shout out. So give thanks, you know what I mean? Give thanks coming day out, you know what I'm saying? And for anyone who's interested, the current score is West Indies are 193 for free. You know what I'm saying? It's the last session of the last day, and Sri Lanka have just taken the new ball, Kings and Queens. So anything could go on right about now. All right, go ahead, Sister Mo. Go ahead.
Don't mind us. You carry on. You carry on. Sister G. First of all, I haven't seen it in a minute. Sister G. We do talk from time to time, as we do, but one of the things that I love about my elder sisters is and my mothers in the community is that you can have no communication with them for some time or how it goes, and as soon as you connect, there's just no time to come. Bang! Yeah. And again, this is one of those moments. It's like, oh yes, girl. So I'll try to maintain a professional approach, but
what is that?
I'm oozing here. But I do want to say, you know, and actually, I've never actually asked you this question, so I think it's a great question. Because I've just known you for a very long time, and I've, you know, the events. And so when you were talking about the snow, I guarantee you, this is the only woman I know who can get me to go out in the cold, in the rain. This is the only person who could do that and make it fun and be so engaging. It's the way in which she operates inside of it. It takes. The weather is secondary to the experience. That's all I can say. Yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away now. It's too much, but certainly. But what I will say is, you know, you spoke a little bit earlier about how it came to pass for you. Your grandparents. Did you always know then that you were, you know, if you like, ordained? You were going to go into this side, yeah, of your spirit, or did you make other choices, and what had you come back to that? If that is the case, what had you come back to that and make that as choices?
I didn't. Well, did I always know? Let me say that. Did I always know? Not consciously, but I was one of those children that watched a lot of movies, and when the musicals, I'm that age, lots of musicals. So I'm singing and I'm dancing, you know, to the musicals, and I'm loving telling the story and being part of the story and watching. And I'd write down all the words of the song, and I'd be singing and dancing along with the musical. So I was always into storytelling movies from a very young age. But I think when I went to and when I was in primary school, I was just telling someone yesterday, when I was in primary school, I went to a Selling Court school in Tooting. And I came in at, I don't know, we call it first year of primary school. But I didn't get on with the teacher in that classroom. So they took me out of that classroom and they put me in another class, but everybody was a year older than me. But that classroom was run by a Jamaican woman named Miss Davis. And she had all the melanin-rich children and the Irish children in her class. From the year, they all put, because she was the only one that could manage them, and so I was in the class with her. So she came to one of my festivals about 4 years ago, my primary school teacher.
Wow.
And she said that she's not surprised that I do what I do, because when I was in primary school, the only way she could get me to focus, to pay attention, is to tell me a story or to get me to write a story, or she'd start a story and get me to finish it. So she was like, okay, this makes sense that you're on this path. So that was in primary school. And then my mother took me home to Umuahia, motherland. And on the last day of the summer holidays, I sat around and the whole village came out to see me. Because in African culture, we want to know who you are. And the way we know who you are is we listen to the words that come out of your mouth. And we open our spirit and we'll listen to you, to your spirit with our spirit. And that's how we'll hear if you have integrity, if you're being honest. And so they wanted to hear from me. So for a whole hour, I had the whole village listening to me. I mean, how does that happen? That was great. And they were listening. It wasn't just, oh, you know, we're just here, but they were actually listening, engaged. I didn't speak Igbo, so I was speaking English. I'm not sure how many people understood me, but I used to be really good at mimicking people. So when I mimicked my Auntie Pauline, they knew who I was talking about. When I mimicked my Uncle Joe, they knew who I was talking about. And having this little 10-year-old mimic the big people in the village made everybody smile and laugh and they stayed engaged. So and later on I found out that was kind of like an initiation into the whole storytelling thing and how my family run and how my family move, was just having that platform and making sure that though she lives abroad, she's got that in her now. We have heard her, we know her, we feel her, we've got her. She's spoken to us and we've shared this time together. So then that was another indicator. But it was later on I went to college and I did theatre directing, theatre performance. And lots of people kept saying to me, you should be a storyteller, you should be a storyteller. And initially I just thought storytelling was, you learn a story, you tell a story. You tell it the best way you can. But as time has gone by, I realized that storytelling is so much more. And as that happens, I learned more about my culture, my background, and my history, my lineage, and my heritage. And I was like, oh, I actually come from a whole rich culture of storytelling and the oral traditions of storytelling. So I didn't know in the beginning, but when I knew, then it was great. And it was like, once you know, then what else are you going to do with your life?
And how did you start then? That's beautiful, actually. It's such a lovely, rich story. But how did you start? What did you do then when you made that choice, when it came to you that, okay, you're going along that way? Where did you?
So the first thing I did was
that point.
Just learn a story. I just learned a story. I learned a story because I'd read stories. I'd read it, learn it, and then tell it. Read it, learn it, and tell it. And I just did that for a bit. And then people started to give me money. I thought, well, that's good. And so then I started to charge. I was like, okay, I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. And when I was traveling around Europe, because I used to live like a nomad, traveling around Europe, that's what I would do. I'd tell stories and people would gather, listen to my story, and then they'd pay me for telling stories. But that's when I just thought, learn a story, tell a story. It was as time went by, I learned the healing power of the word. Yeah. And that all the great leaders are great storytellers. And that we shouldn't, and that in this time when people tell a story, we shouldn't just listen to how good the story is. We should listen to the heart of the storyteller telling the story. And that they are very different, because somebody with a bad heart can tell a great story. And we go, oh, that's a great story. And then we're convinced that that's a great human being as well. So we have to learn to listen to the storyteller's heart as they tell the story.
Absolutely.
So as time has gone by, I've grown into, because I was painfully shy. I was so shy. I was like, well, I mean, I organized the whole performance and then I just went and hid in a corner somewhere because I just like, no, I can't do it. Ah! Seriously. So
wow.
I had to grow into expression.
Do you have a favorite story?
There's Chinyere. That's one of my favorite stories. And then I wrote a story the other day called The Yew Tree. No, it's called Osisi Awansi. That's another. I really like that story. I have quite a few stories that I like, because like if I read the story or I write a story and I get totally involved in the story and immersed in the story, because my imagination just takes me there, then if I read a story and I'm not feeling it, or I write a story and I'm like, I'm not immersed in. So most of my stories, I really love them. I have to be fair. Yeah.
That's lovely.
Beautiful. Family, we're speaking to Griot Chinyere, of Shanti Chi. Shanti-Chi.com, Kings and Queens. She is the creative director. Before, we're gonna invite you on to come and have a conversation with Griot Chinyere, should you so wish, to ask a question, interact, and all these things. But it will be good right now to just get some information about this year's storytelling festival, Wagwan, where is it taking place, and all these things. Let people know, Sister Chinyere, about the Nne Agwu Storytelling Festival 2021.
Okay, so I realized I forgot my manners, so please forgive me. I just want to say thank you for bringing me onto this platform. Thank you to such beautiful spirits and beautiful souls. I've seen you both over the years. Yes, you too, Sister Mok. We've been through it. We've talked, we've debated, we've discussed, we've agreed, we've disagreed, and it's been great, and it's been good for growth. Going on that journey together and learning how important it is to be able to have honest conversations, even when they're difficult, but working through it and coming out the other side, and learning to acceptance of self enables acceptance of others. So thank you. And thank you, Chakra. I've seen you growing from a young boy to a man, a father. I love it. And I love the work that you do, and the questions that you have, the Pan-African question answer thing. I I love watching those and listening to those, and I love your perspective. So the two of you coming together, well, you know, I give thanks. I give thanks for that, and I give thanks to the ancestors for bringing you into this world. Thank you very much.
Give thanks.
Okay.
So the Storytelling Festival for this year, what's Wagwan? What's the situation?
Okay, so this year, 2021, is going to happen in Dorset. It's going to be happening in Dorset. So I don't
even know where that there.
You don't know where Dorset is?
Like
Cornwall. You know how to use the Google, innit? You just write Dorset to Google. Here's London. Here's Dorset. It's in the west.
It's on the coast, isn't it? On the coast.
It's not far from the coast. Yeah, it's not far. Yeah. It's a beautiful part of England, and apparently it's like the Riviera of England. Like there's a lot more sunshine there than there is anywhere else in England.
Okay.
So it's the 25th to the 29th of July, 2021. It's the 11th year. We're going to be honouring Sobon Fusome and her work as a woman who speaks about our practices, about who we are, and she speaks about it in such a simple, eloquent way that you can just understand it. It's not like what, and it makes spirituality just your everyday way of being in the world. So we're going to be honoring her. We have so how it works is that in the morning we have yoga, martial arts. So we have Story Shola, he's going to be doing martial arts, and we have a Sister Anna who's going to be doing some yoga. Then during the course of the day, we have loads of beautiful workshops, storytelling for beginners, storytelling for people who want to take it on professionally. We have drumming, music, art, but all around creating story and proverb and prophecy for our future as melanin-rich people. Then we have round the fire sessions where people in the community, in the village, they get to speak about their day, they get to tell stories that they've created during the course of the day, or stories that they've brought into the village to share with the community. And then in the evening, we have professional storytellers telling stories that they've rehearsed, that they've practiced. And then the last thing of the day is that we have night walks into the forest, you know, silent, meditative night walks. And they happen every day, every night while we're away in the village. So that's kind of like the program. And we have we've had lots of beautiful people being part of the village. And we have like Eli Anderson, he's a storyteller. He comes every single year. I think he missed 1 year since it started 11 years ago. And we have Story Shola, who's finally managed to make it after me running him down for 4 years. He's like, he came. I think he tells the story that he told someone he was an African storyteller, and they said, "Have you been to the African Storytelling Festival?" And he said, "No." And they said, "Well, how can you be really?"
Wow, that's be ordained, it seems. Ordained.
Yeah, I mean, you're not about that life, my G. You're not reading this thing.
I never said it.
That's where it's at. This is where it's at.
Right.
This way.
We have people coming from all over, from Oxford, we have Newton and Manchester. Like we've got people we've got volunteers who are just amazing. They get training. We train them on how to build fires, put up tents, and how to deal with people who are nervous. So customer service. So if someone's coming at you, because recognize that maybe they're out of their comfort zone and they're just feeling a little bit edgy, so we don't have to rise to the occasion. And so our volunteers are just absolutely top notch, amazing, and they keep you know, it's love. If you go to the website, and it's got a storytelling festival, and it's got a drop down menu. If you go to testimony, you will hear all the amazing things that people have said about the effect that the storytelling festival has had on them.
No, yes. I will make it. I will make it at some point. You know, it's why.
No, you can't. Let me just say this, because some point I've been hearing it for 11 years.
I know.
Lots of people.
It's bad. Yeah.
Can I just say this to you? This year we're in England. Yes,
right.
It's on your doorstep. Then we're not having one next year, but we're going to be going to Ghana in 2023. Now, if you can't make it on your doorstep, how are you going to get to go?
All right, you know what? Another point. I'm gonna tell you why what you're saying is very We'll come back to that conversation in a sec, right? But right now we've got Sister Angie in the background waiting to come through and speak to you, Griot Chinyere. Hold on, there 1 second. This is Sister Angie Griot Chinyere.
Hey, what the mothers in the building.
I'm rising, Sister Angie. So beautiful to see you.
You know what? I was waiting backstage and I'm listening to you and I'm feeling really warm and, you know, rise up our dear Sister Mott and big up Shakara. Enough respect. And Sister Griot Cinere, you know that once you're there, I feel like I'm a groupie. I'm following you everywhere. Actually, I have to remember that I'm part of the committee. The dream team, and it's, you know, when I'm in those moments of excitement, you know, I think, oh, but you're on the team, you're in it, you know. So I'm here, and that's why I'm here, because for me, it's really important that we support. And you know, I heard Brother Shakara just said, oh, you know, I'm gonna get there soon, you know, and as our sister said, and just as she always does, you know, she calls you out. There's no way that you can maneuver yourself, you know, and that's one of the things that I love about her, because there's no opportunity to have fear, to have an excuse or a reason why you should not embrace this present moment, because that's all we've got. And I've got a lot of love for this sister. I love my community, as you know, those who know me, but I'm very selective, you know, because when you get to where I'm at in my life, you have to be aware and present, because there's no room, right now, especially as I'm now 60. We have to really be selective.
Imagine.
You know? We have to be selective. I feel like 18, it's only a number.
You look 18, sis. You look 18.
But you know, we have to be selective, and we've got to really enjoy and embrace, you know, the rest of our journey on this physical plane. So, Sister Griot, you know, and I cannot, you know, say enough. If you haven't, to those of you who have not experienced the Nne Agwu Storytelling Festival, do not hesitate, because I was one of those that it took 10 years, to really, storytelling. Well, I'm going to storytelling, that's boring. You know, to hear somebody just sitting down telling stories. What's that all about? But let me tell you something. When Sister invited me to join the Dream Team, I jumped at that opportunity. And last year, life-changing experience. And night walks, hey.
Wow, I tell you.
Night walks, family, village. You know, I go to Africa a lot, as you know, so I'm used to the compound lifestyle. I'm used to all of that. But to have that experience here in the UK, wow. That's all I can say. So I'm going to just end there, but I'm part of the team. I'm proud to be. I've learned how to put up a tent. I've learned how to make a fire. I can do it. I've also been part of the melanin-rich feminine walking group that we did over 9 weeks, right in the middle of everything while going. People were staying at them house. 8 o'clock on a Wednesday for 9 weeks, traveling from Enfield to Oxley Woods, a 2-hour journey. And I never missed a week, and all type of weather conditions. I done that. And I swung on a tree. I was swinging, and I was like, whoa, no time for fear. No time to think about it. This is what this sister, can get you to do. So rise up yourself, sis. I appreciate you. I love you. And I'm going to follow you. Yeah? Enough respect to
Lazy
our family.
woman.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
Sister
you.
Angie,
Thank
love Sister
you.
Angie,
Thank you, Sister Angie.
I hasten to add, family, that if you want to get to 60 and still look 18, you have to go to Africa, yeah, regular. You know what I'm saying? That's a secret to the team. You have to go to Africa regular. You know what I mean? Give thanks, Sister Angie. Yeah, bless up. Thank you for that, family. So an endorsement, if ever there was one, family. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, take it in, yeah, not just for the experience, but for the culture, for the communality. There's one scene that I didn't see. Everybody just standing in a circle and wind up themselves. I was thinking, what is there some soccer playing or something like that? Quite carnival go on. You know what I'm saying? That at the Nne Agwu Storytelling.
That's what I mean. That should get you there, Shakara. That should get you there.
When she has like a drumming circle, when it gets started, it's on. Yeah, it's on. The drum flow, it's on. The space, I can only, all right, people who know about childbirth, or people who know, people don't know, yeah? Until you actually experienced it, it's one of those kinds of things you can talk about all day long until you've experienced it. The experience, I can only put it like, if you look at childbirth, yeah, it's a metamorphosis, yeah?
Yes.
But, and I'm not saying this because, I love this sister, and the experience has lingered and lasted so long. It's made a massive imprint on our family. I've been two different events where the very first time we did our ancestral gathering, that's where I met your sister. And,
with Sister Anashabe.
That's when I was learning how to put up a tent. It was very entertaining.
Oh, you know what? I remember. So Sister Moore, sorry, Sister Moore, So Sister Moore comes with a bag and it's got a tent in it. She takes the tent out and she puts up the tent. When it's time to go home, she says to me, "How am I going to put that back in the bag?" And I said, "Did it come in the bag?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, if it came out of the bag, you must come put it back in the bag."
The bag's about this big.
She's like, no, it's not possible. It's too big. But you took it out of the bag, so logic tells you should put it back in the bag. But you know what she was trying to do? She was just trying to stuff it in. I said, "You know what? You have to fold it nice and neat." I said, "When it came out of the bag, was it folded?" She said, "Yes." I said, "That's what you have to do. Put it back in the bag again. You have to fold it." And then she folded it.
I wasn't easy. I don't do camping. So I was like totally new to this. This is good. This is about 15 years ago or so. This is about that time.
Yeah.
That's when I very first met you, actually. Yeah, there. And I was like, "Oh, this is a new experience for me. Oh, I'm not sure about that." And then I went again, and the experience is so powerful. You learn so much about yourself. Yeah, you learn so much about yourself. I think that's one of the most powerful things about it, is that you learn so much about yourself, what your strengths and weaknesses are. Mine's not putting away a tent. And
well, even now.
No, actually, to be fair, I've only been camping. To be fair, I only go camping when you're there, sis. Come on.
Please come.
Come on. And so, like she's like your camping mentor. Yeah, she'll take you all the way through and guide you like a doula.
It's true. And as a doula, people show fear. They want to have a go at you. They want to tell you off. I remember last year there was one sister. I asked that we had a volunteer that was trying to help her, but the volunteer didn't help her exactly the way she wanted the volunteer to help her. So she's telling me that I should have done it. It was down to me. Blah blah blah. Anyway, and I stood and I just let her get it off of her chest. And then the next day I saw her. I said, that volunteer, he really wants to make sure that you're okay, and he's looking after you. And so, he's doing the best he can. By the end of the second day, she came to me, she goes, "What am I doing? This is just amazing. And it's just my fear that I'm putting on you. And I know it's not about you." And by the end of the camp, she was a transformed person. Like, she didn't want to go in the tent. She didn't want to sleep in the dormitory. She didn't want to be near anybody. But by the end of it, she was like, "I love it. I'm so happy that I did this." So you have to be prepared, I suppose, to just step out of your comfort zone in order to reach a higher level of well-being and to connect with, a deeper part of your spirit. But if you're comfortable and you like your creature comforts, then don't complain about the world. The world is as it is, and there's no reason to complain. If you want to make a difference in the world, you have to make a difference in your life. You have to step out of your comfort zone. And these are the things that help you to do that and develop your leadership as the feminine melanin walkers. Most of them were mothers. Some of them are mothers to be. Motherhood is a leadership position. But most of us, when we start motherhood, we don't have leadership confidence. And these kind of things help us to find the confidence to then go back and do those things in our lives, So we're tapping into the personal story when we're dealing with the elements and we're dealing with learning new things, because the other thing about Sister Angie, like she's 60, she looks 80, she's open to learning, and that makes a difference. Because sometimes you're like, I can't be bothered, or you go and call a young person, but that young person can't teach you about you if you don't go through those steps. Some things you got to do yourself, And
I think you really make a good point, because my children, can still, build and maintain a fire. And that was the experience that they had from it. Like, even now we could, we'd go out and we could just like, okay, let's go and create a fire, like in the summertime, we create some fires.
My name burned on your house though, sister.
No, not exactly hard, man. You could breathe space there.
You need to come.
I'm coming. Don't worry. Soon come.
You've got children, but seriously, if you've got children,
definitely.
Such a rich, and it is, like on the bucket list of things to do. That's one of the things to do, and experience for the experience for your child is all taking away their creature comforts. It's quite an experience for them as well, especially if they're teens. My eldest was a teen the second time, but taking away, getting them engaging, like having to take themselves out. They learn so much. They change a lot. They grow a lot. My younger ones still have memories of that experience, and can, my middle one can easily maintain a fire. And I don't have to be like, okay, he knows what to do. He knows how to keep it safe. He knows how to stand back. He knows how to protect it. He knows how to keep going. You couldn't get that experience anywhere else, really, to be fair. So I really urge anyone, especially if you've got children. It's a must.
And picking up on that thing, the point that you made about young people and your son being a teenager, is that the last event that we did, that we have a fireplace, and one night that there were young people, they sat around the fire all night long until the dawn and the dawn birds were singing. They weren't on their phone. They were having a conversation about how to communicate effectively. Somebody in the group, there was no adults conducting or supervising them. They were just having their own conversation. And at one point, after the night walk, I came and I just stood by the fire just to listen. And there was one young person in the group that was having a problem in communication and was upset. And then another young person said to them, look, if you don't tell us what the problem is, then we might continue to do the thing that you don't want us to do because we're unaware. So you have to talk to us. And so they were all having that conversation. And then somebody saying, so this is my understanding of what happened. And they were just talking through the whole thing. And I was like, wow, because not even many adults have the ability to do that. And I asked them, so do you all know each other from before? They said, no, we just all met. We've all just met now. And they were learning how to communicate sitting around the fire. And that just really touched me in a really big way. It's like, they had a problem and they tried to work it out, and they did work it out. And I was really impressed with that whole process, that space, because the space allowed for that to happen, Yeah. And that just made me go, I love young people anyway. So, that just even cemented it. So you see, that's why I love young people. People don't talk about how great they are. Yeah.
Family, the link is in the chat, yeah, if you would like to join. We're gonna wrap up in about 10 minutes here, but the link is in the chat if you want to come on and, you know, speak to Griot Chinyere, ask a question, share some love, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And we have a question in the chat, however, that says, Griot Chinyere, can you bring your program to the Peaks? Me don't know where that there.
The Peak District. Oh, are there melanin rich people in the Peak District? Whoa. It's the Peak District. I think it's just past Birmingham. It's on the other side of Birmingham.
Okay.
So you got the Peaks and then you got the lakes, and the Peak District is a beautiful space. Right. But I don't know how many melanin. Well, you know, just come to Dorset.
You might have to advertise in Birmingham or something, you know.
Because it's 5 days. It's 5 days, so it's worth the trip. It's not a 1 day something. It's a 5 day. You come on the Monday, you leave on the Friday, the Thursday. You're there for the whole 5 days, so it's definitely worth making the journey, you know. And tell all your friends in the Peak District.
Big ups, Kush the Cosmetics inside, and hope the little one is well. You know what I'm saying. Sister had a newborn. What, last month? So, yeah,
congratulations.
Man. Vital Empress said there is a brother who is doing something similar in Yorkshire to get our people and also refugees out into nature. I have so much respect for this kind of work, so we give thanks for that. Sister Maxine Grant says, true, my two children was there from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I could not believe that the children stayed up all night around the fire. If you don't have children of your own, bring a niece, gran, etc. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we give thanks. We give thanks for these communal vibrations. And to be honest, having a child, the first when my child was we are actually gonna come, you know, like when my child was just born. Like, what's it called? We was actually gonna try and make it. I can't remember what stopped us. But yeah, we was gonna try and come and camp out for a few days. But
you can't remember why you didn't.
Oh yeah, but it'd been about just over a month, about 6 weeks. We was like, how come we go to the storytelling festival? But yeah, I can't remember what stopped us from being able to make it. But yeah, like I'm saying, it's been on the cards, you know. So we'll get there. We've got Sister Jolivette in the back waiting to come through. So let me bring her through now. Greetings, sister.
Greetings.
You're on mute, sis. Sorry. To come through. So let me bring her through now.
Hi.
Greetings, sister.
Greetings.
I'm getting an echo, yeah. So if you're watching, if you got a YouTube playing,
Hi.
Greetings, sister.
Greetings.
I'm getting an echo, yeah. So if you're watching, if you got a YouTube playing,
Hi.
yeah, I'm still getting it. I'm hearing myself. All right, hold on. Yeah, it's definitely you, sis. I'm gonna try and All right, hold on. Are you not playing anything in the background? Maybe it's a. All right. Are you not playing anything in the background?
No, I turned it off. I had my phone going, but I turned it off.
Maybe it's a. Are you not playing anything in the background?
No, I turned it off. I had my phone going, but I turned it off.
Maybe it's a.
What about if she goes out, comes out, and goes back in?
Again. Thank you. Right, family. The West Indies are 204 for 4. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And they got to make another 171 runs. Yeah, the West Indies are 204 for 4. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And they got to make. Griot Chinyere is dropped off. So yeah.
All right. Well, so far. What you're doing now? I'm hoping that, you know, people are getting a lot from this evening. Yeah, I think, you know, we've been, especially if, you know, we're talking about quarantine convos, we've been inside, some of us for some time now in the world of quarantine and lockdown vibrations. And so, you know, knowing that she's going to be doing something like this in the summer. Yes, Mama, you're back.
Oh, I don't know what happened there.
It's all good. It's all good.
But we're just saying, look, you know, we've been in the quarantine. lockdown vibration for some time. Yeah, it's an excellent way to recover. Yeah,
absolutely.
And heal and really rejuvenate. It's one of those kinds of places. It's very, very retreat. Yeah, like in the experience, and you can have the experience that you want. You can participate as much as she will pull you. Don't worry about that. She will pull you to communicate and get involved. You know, you can't hide from Chi.
But you know, people do. We have a thing now called the village meeting. So during the lunch break, we sit around the fire and we make food and we have a conversation about things that are really important to us in the community. That's not on the program. Somebody will it's just one of those, you know, but we'll cook.
Ad hoc.
Ad hoc. I think a couple of young people asked for it to happen at the last event. I mean, I'm amazed that we actually had the last event in August. It went through. It happened at the time, because you know, in June, what's his name? Who's the Prime Minister? What is his name? Boris. So Boris, his birthday is in June. So he always lifts the lockdown so that he can so he can have a party and it's summer holiday. So we were able to have the festival last August, and that we have that village meeting where we sit around and we talk about things as melanin-rich people. What we don't have to worry about rushing home to get the last bus. We don't have to worry about, you know, who's looking after the children. We don't have to worry about any of those things, because we're just, you know, everybody's looking after everybody's children. It is literally a village vibe. Yeah.
Big up Kush, she says, "Oh, look at the young king, he's so handsome." She's talking about my son, and I've heard that he looked like him father. So we give thanks for that.
You've heard?
Yeah, I've heard.
You're going to take that. You're going to take the generational compliment, yeah? Okay.
Most Do you know what? I thought you were going to say, Shakira. I thought you was going to say, she's talking about me. Like you.
Not quite. I'm not going to teeth my son's compliments, you know what I mean? You know? I'll just highlight my contribution to whatever compliment he's getting.
So can I say? Can I ask you, Shakira, what is it like being a dad?
What is it like?
Because you're a new dad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. You know, it is, as you were saying earlier. You can't describe it until you're in it, right? You're on it. You know what I'm saying? I've always wanted to be a father, but it is that journey that what's it called? It's the most unique journey that you're ever gonna go on. Like from the time of, you know, my queen being pregnant and witnessing the birth, I've never experienced anything like that. But also being the father of a son is unique. Like, you know, in that respect, because, you know, it's like you're literally raising him within your own, you know what I'm saying, energy, if that makes sense. And yeah, so I'm enjoying that journey. I'm learning, and it teaches you a lot about yourself, you know, and it not just who you are, but who you need to become in order to be the best kind of parent that you want to be. And so it's things like this, in terms of putting him in the right environments. I was blessed to have parents that put me in a lot of environments that I'm you know, learning the importance of, right? So it's like this, you know, so bringing him to the Shanti Chi festival, the Nne Agwu festival, it was important. So he gets that from early, and raising him on, because he listens to a lot of the stories that Miss Lou, and a lot of the traditional stories from all over the African diaspora, is what he's been raised on. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, so I'm enjoying that journey, and I'm looking forward to witnessing the fruits of the labor as he gets older, you know. Yeah, man. So we give out to that question.
It's good.
Different
I also know that you've always wanted to be a dad, so it met your expectations anyway. You weren't disappointed.
Yes. And big up.
Sorry.
I was doing Daddy Diaries some time ago, and I need to get back to them. Yeah, I will do at some point. So go ahead.
That was a great show. That was a great series. I loved it.
Go ahead, Chinyere.
There's one thing that you do, that we do as parents, is that we learn unconditional love. It's the only situation that we can actually learn unconditional love, and it served us well.
Yeah, man.
You know, without it being a slap in the face.
Yes.
So that's a very unique thing to be able to do, is to love somebody unconditionally. There's no other circumstance where you'd be able to do that. And so that's a gift. That is a gift.
Good fact. Beautiful point. We've got Sister Johnny Vet's having difficulty, but she has left comments. And I just wanted to say that Griot Chinyere is a beautiful healing spirit. She welcomed me and my daughter to Nne Agwu years ago, and I hope to be able to attend in July this year. So give thanks, Sister Johnny Vet, for that.
She comes all the way from America.
I realized with the little that we got of her.
Yeah. She comes all the way from America, and we've just been in touch with her, and she's amazing. Actually, as a spoken word artist, if you go online, if you can find any of her work, she's the boom. She's seriously she's the lead.
All right,
check her out.
In fact, that was my next question, because in terms of one of the reasons why I was interested in taking part in this festival was also from the artistic point of view, being an artist, being the word's artist, right? And you know that they used to have like people go on writers' retreats, and this is more than a writers' retreat, right? But it does have that element to it, right? In a sense, And so from an artistic point of view, like, what's the experience like, especially you as the artistic director? How do because I'm sure you must get people that this is what they do. They tell stories, they present poetry. How do the artists who take part in this process receive it, and what do they take away from it?
So from the feedback that I've got from the artists, they absolutely love it. So there's like Eli, who's a storyteller. He's an artist. He says he comes every year. Whether I have the budget to pay him or not, he's coming because it says it feeds him.
Yes.
And it gets him through the year, and it helps him to manage all what is going on in the world, because he has this time in this space. And he has a very respectful, prominent place now in the festival. Like, people come and they look for Brother Eli, and they listen to what he has to say, and they quote him, because like he's an elder now. He's just turned 60 the other day, so he's big brother Eli to me, but he's elder Eli, and he has a calm and a wisdom about him, and he gets a lot out of it. Again, if you go on the testimony page of the shanti-chi.com, he has put a testimony there, and he tells you how it affects him and how he feels about it. And it's the same with Shola's story. Even though he's come later on, Johnny come lately, he's got so much out of it as well. And he's been camping before. His wife hasn't. So it was watching her journey and also him interacting in this space. And in the beginning, they were like, ooh, but then they were finding ways to be together. So it kind of cemented their relationship and strengthened their relationship, being in that healing space. So I know as an artist, we share ideas, we support each other, we back each other up, so if an artist is doing something, we're all going into that space. And so the responsibility of the workshop becomes part of the whole. It's not just, oh, your workshop was rubbish because you're rubbish. No, we are here together, supporting each other and ensuring that everybody has a powerful experience. So the artists grow from being in that space. They grow a great deal. Like Shola's story, he announced, I will be coming every year from now on, because that's how much it touched him. I've got a sister, Amantha, who lives in Oxford. She's an amazing storyteller. She's an actor and a great storyteller. And they're bringing a wonderful show, Mary Prince. So they're going to be coming to the festival this year. Okay. And she's been coming over the years. But last year, she didn't know whether she would be able to come to the festival. So I didn't program her. But she came. She came and did the washing up. This is an amazing woman who is talented. She has a beautiful heart. She came and did the washing up because she just wanted to be part. She just came. So what do you want me to do? I said, you don't have to do anything. She did the washing up. So that's the kind of energy, that's the kind of vibe, that's the kind of people that come into the space. When she comes and when she performs, she blows everybody away. We've had Yusufa there, we've had Sandra Agar there. We've had a lot of the stories, because we try to focus on storytelling as opposed to spoken word and poetry. We really try to, because there's a lot of spoken word out there, but storytelling isn't getting the doesn't have the platform that spoken word.
You're absolutely correct, and I think, like I said, they're related, but they are different.
Yes,
you know. And as somebody that had that, I mean, I'm more of a spoken word artist and a storyteller, but having dabbled in both, it's a different energy. And you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so, and I enjoy both. And I think that there needs to be a space for the storytelling energy. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. And just, you mentioned Yusuf Jallo. I mean, that man is amazing. You know, in terms of how, he's a revelation. You know, you know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, trust me. And if you want to see a bit of Yusuf Jallo, you can check out Black Trinity on gotkushTV.com. Sign up to be able to watch Black Trinity absolutely free, kings and queens, and you can get Yusuf Jallo's contribution, magnificent story at that event for Gotkush TV. You know, powerful. Big up the storyteller, big up Alim Kamara, big up even my second brother, Mama Kai, you know what I'm saying, who's, you know, she's known to tell a story or two here and there, you know what I'm saying. So we give thanks, you know, for the storytellers out there, and you know, the work that you're doing for our community, in particular our children, you know, it's very, very important work that is going on. Family, I want to just, we're going to wrap up shortly, but it'd be wise to get Griot Chinyere. Well, actually, let me just check, Sister Mut. Is there any last thing that you want to get?
I do have a question, yes. And it's a I suppose it's more of a vision question, really. It's like, my question would be, where do you want to see storytelling going? What's the vision for storytelling 10, 20 years from now? Yeah, you know I'm going to go there. You know.
And it's good that you go there.
Thank you.
Storytelling. Okay, so let me just talk a little bit. My personal vision, what I'm planning to do, and so maybe somebody's going to help me out there, is I'm in search of a TK Bedford truck, 7.5 ton, 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder. Convert it into a home on wheels, travel around in Britain, visiting ancient trees and stone circles to gather those stories, because they've all got stories, and they're also stories from our ancestry. So where you see ancient Celts, they're talking about melanin-rich people that have landed in the space, and then taking it over Europe, visiting ancient trees and stone circles, and then traveling overland through the motherland, visiting ancient trees and stone circles, and carrying out ceremonies and rituals and gathering those ancient stories and watching the changing of the landscape. Then arriving in West Africa, it could be Ghana, it could be Nigeria, it could be Benin, it could be Togo, anywhere in that area, because my spirit is called to that space. And finding a plot of land, and then converting that land into a permanent storytelling retreat, family retreat space, to invite people specifically, especially from the diaspora, because we miss out on that village energy. You know, we talk about the village, but we live in the city, and it's very difficult to imagine what the village is like when you're living in a city. Because if you and me, we don't agree, I don't need to see you. So I don't need to sort it out. I don't need to, you know, whereas in the village, your mum knows my mum, your dad knows my mum, my sister knows your brother, everybody knows each other, and everyone's going to ask, what's going on? What's going on with you two? And we would have to sort it out. So it's great to have a space, storytelling space, where those of us here, because when I was younger, if I was being out of order, it was always, I will send you home. And though it sounds like a threat, it's good to have a place where you can send young people. And I would like to create that place and that space, using storytelling as a way of developing our rights as growing and returning it to its original purpose. It has a massive purpose, and so that it's interwoven in the culture and it becomes part of everything that we do. That's what I mean, it's nice performing. It's nice being a performer. It's nice having an audience. It's nice having an audience eating out the palm of your hand. It's nice having the claps and the accolade. But it's also really important to return the oral traditions to its original reason for being. And so I'd like to create that space. But going on that journey will make sure that the energy that I have with me when I get there is as it needs to be.
Powerful.
Wonderful.
Powerful.
There you go.
Yeah, I have to check out.
So shall it be done.
Thank you, Dalu.
So, you know, so you have to check out Shanti, yeah, SHANTI-chi.com for more information. And you never know, family, and you might find your future husband or wife on a midnight walk and all these things. You know what I'm saying? You know,
it's happened.
I'm sure it has, my sister.
We've had some children conceived at the
Indeed. I'm sure that's taken place too.
We've had children take their first steps at the In There Are.
All right.
We've had love blossom at the In There Are Storytelling Festival. It's the village.
I'll take that under advisement, sis. You see, you know. You know, we'll
sounds like there's another baby coming then, Shakara.
Let me not talk, you know. Let me not talk about the things, you know what I'm saying? You get me? But yeah, we'll just take it under advisement, you know what I mean? All right, you get me? All right, family. So yeah, for this year's Nne Agwu Storytelling Festival. And yeah, man, make sure you get your tickets. It's what dates again, sis?
So it's the 25th of July to the 29th of July. It's at Moon Acre Campsite in Dorset. The tickets now are on 20% discount. We still have a couple of glamps left. We have a double-decker bus that's gone. We have a motorhome that's gone. We have a caravan, and we have glamps, and we have some tents for hire. But we're excited about, you know, people wanting to buy their own tent. And if you want any advice about that, then email us and we will give you advice. We have a page, what to bring page on the website, so that you don't have to work everything out for yourself. And then you can just go through that page. Mostly you'll have things in your house like your duvet, change of clothes, all of that. The thing that you might not have is a tent, and there are sales on now, and a bed, a camp bed or a pump-up bed. They're the two things that you might not have. But otherwise, everything else is going to be in your house. The clothes that you wear, your toiletries, your suitcase, your rucksack, whatever. And Sister G.
And wellies as well. Make sure you have
wellies and all good walking boots. Yeah, wellies and all good walking boots. But not wellies that flap. You know those ones that flap about. They're really uncomfortable after a certain while.
You need like a decent pair.
But there is things to bring page to help you on your journey, and email us, because we have a really beautiful administrator who is very patient, and if you're struggling with how to navigate the website, she will give you a call and she will help you.
So shout her out. What's her name? What's
her name? Is Raina Clayton.
We got to Raina Clayton.
And she started off as a volunteer, and now she's working as an administrator with us. So we have and Sister Angie, like Sister Angie was saying, we've got a really beautiful dream team. We've got James Buzzy B from SLR. He is amazing. I mean, Buzzy, he buzzes. And he's a natural, and he just kept the whole thing going and kept the whole thing together. So we have a beautiful team of people. We have a volunteer coordinator. He started off as a volunteer, and now he is inviting volunteers in, and he's going to be part of helping to train them to make sure that they're of the standard, so that the festival runs smoothly. Yeah, we've got a really great team of people, and it couldn't be done without a great team. And so I'm giving thanks that I have a great team. And Shakara, I have to tell you, there's a couple, 2 years in a row they came, 2 years in a row she conceived. So I'm not saying that if you want to have a baby, it's the place to be. I'm just telling you the story.
Fertile land.
Indeed. I've noted it down, so give thanks, for the information.
Okay. Give thanks. Thank you. I give thanks, Sister Mo. Give thanks. I give thanks to the ancestors for the dawning of this.
Mama will be in touch. Thank you.
Family, this has been Griot Chinyere. You know what I'm saying? We give thanks for her presence and her work. Shanti-chi.com. Shanti-chi.com is the website that you need to go to for more information. Do check it out, family. It's very important. We're always asking for things in our community, and oftentimes there are people doing a lot more than we realize. And so part of this, the reason why we have this platform is to highlight that work. And in that spirit, I do want to achieve what we were unable to at the beginning of the show, and bring this event to light that Sister Mut will be speaking at.
Will be, yes. That's the one, yes. That'll be on Saturday, 27th of March at 7 p.m. The Zoom details will be on the sites. You can either go to MAG or you can go to Urban Goddess Evolution, and you can find it there. Yeah, but the conversation is very important right now. It's with everything that's happening, where they're talking about curfews for men. There's other conversations I heard, I think this week, that there's they're going to cancel. I don't know if you heard this. They're going to cancel passports for parents who haven't paid their child support. Ha.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I thought that was in America though. I didn't know that was a UK.
No. It's UK Home Office, my friend. Okay. Go look up on the website.
Well, so me not pay child support because me have my put in their yards.
That's right.
So
that's right.
My partner.
But we're in such difficult times. Look, the times that we're in as well. Men and women, men in particular, are getting a bit of a rough ride. Yeah, as a mother to 3 sons, I recognize that men are getting a rough ride. I know there's lots going on and stuff like that, but they are getting a rough ride, and we've got to celebrate when we are doing good and doing well. And yeah, this is an opportunity for people to see the brothers in action and join the conversation on Saturday.
Yes, family. So check it out. Yeah, Protecting Our Assets, as hosted by the Manhood Academy Global. And yeah, man, check it out, family. Check it out. Yeah, so check the Manhood Academy Global website or Urban Goddess .com.
You can on my Insta, Urban Goddess Evolution. Yeah, all the details are there, and the Zoom details are there as well. So you can just tap it into the Zoom details from there. Yeah, it's a free event.
Yes. And next week, we're going to have a very interesting conversation with this particular sister called Alima.
Yes.
Is the author or the producer of a book entitled Black Mental Health in Focus, a photographic exploration of young Black men. So that's going to be very interesting. It relates to what.
Well, I was blessed to have gone to her book launch. And the book came in the post, which was beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. And she has a really beautiful, she has some really beautiful art, but she also has, a really interesting section on the misrepresentation of the Black man. So it'll be really interesting in delving into that next week. She's a lovely young woman who's doing some amazing work. I look forward to hearing her story and her reasons for doing this kind of work. It's not easy work, and it's hard work. Yeah, and hard work's not easy. Yeah, and it's not for the faint-hearted. And this young sister is doing this work, so we look forward to having her on the show and you all enjoying her experience.
Yeah, family, to check it out Thursday. Yeah, the 1st of April. Let me say our April Fools, isn't it? But don't be an April Fool, Kings and Queens. Just join gotkushTV. You know what I'm saying? Right here, 7 p.m. Yeah, next week, Thursday, where we'll be talking to Alima Faye about her book, Black Mental Health in Focus, a photographic exploration of young Black men. Very much looking forward to that conversation. Yeah, man. And in fact, the following week, we're going to be speaking to Holistically Hilarious. Yeah, we're going to get into some holistic comedy, Kings and Queens. All right. So do stay tuned for more information on that front. It's going to be major. It's going to be levels, Kings and Queens. This has, sorry, I was going to say something, Sister Mo.
Well, I know that also, there's a lot for everybody to do, but also, Sister Griot, our Griot does have the rebirth of the Griot on the 27th as well. So you have choice, with Sola Story, Sandra Agard, and Lady Issy, and of course our Griot mother.
Yes.
So so there are choices. Enjoy. Step in. We are healing our community in every which way and form we can. So tap in. If you haven't tapped in before, tap in.
I need to make that one as well, and I need to bring back, I was doing some similar work in an event called Rising the Griots. So I was pleased to see somebody bring back the Griot energy to a monthly. So we give thanks for rebirth of the Griot. Saturday, 27th of March. And so you could check out
as well, absolutely. And shantychi.com, absolutely. I'm sure it'll be on there as well. So give thanks for her coming on to the show. Give thanks, brother. A lovely show.
Likewise,
as always.
Likewise. I think we might have to extend that Derek Jackson talk conversation at some point. There's a lot there. There's a lot there.
We'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Yes. There's a lot there. All right, family. This has been Quarantine Convos. We've been speaking to the one and only Griot Chinyere. So once again, shantychi.com, you can see the information on the screen. Do share this video far and wide. Subscribe to gotkushTV if you are not subscribed to gotkushTV, and check out our website gotkushtv.com to stay tuned and sign up to our mailing list to stay tuned for enough of the things that are going right about now. We just released an episode of Decipher, the question being, should more African nations join the year of return? Do check that out. Beautiful, fantastic conversation with our main panelists, as well as our special guests, Nat Nye and Stella B from Voyage to Motherland, Kings and Queens. As said, next week, we'll be speaking to Alima Faye, discussing her new book, Mental Health in Focus, looking at Black men. It's a pictorial exploration, or should I say a photographic exploration of mental health among Black men. I am very, very intrigued and interested in that conversation, Kings and Queens. That's next week on gotkushTV right here, 7 p.m. So do stay tuned for that. Come forward, Kings and Queens. This is gotkushTV, your #1 Black conscious media platform in the UK. Remember that, and always remember, you ain't got nothing.
You got nothing if you ain't got
kush. 2020, a year of many unforeseen challenges, where all had to adjust to a new reality. And despite it all, gotkushTV was and still is here to serve you. And what a year it's been. We began the repatriation journey with our new show, Voyage to Motherland. We dropped the knowledge as you took your seats in the Kush University and joined us to hold a meds with the Ankh Doc. gotkushTV invited you to get involved in controversial conversation and enter Decipher. And when the world went into lockdown, we kept you connected with the Quarantine Convos. We kept our finger on the pulse of the community with coverage of the Reparations Rebellion and the Black Pound Day all day up. Not to mention more wordsmith and a slew of new music video releases for your viewing pleasure, and the official launch of the gotkushTV website. We also brought you events including Women of Power and, of course, Black Tricity. Now, in 2021, gotkushTV is continuing to level up the thing. First up, we are pleased to inform you that gotkushtv.com is open to exclusive memberships. Sign up to any of our membership tiers and you will gain access to playbacks from all our events and an ever-growing list of exclusive original content, including interviews, documentaries, and shows such as Kush University. To become an official member of gotkushtv.com, simply hit the membership tab. Stay tuned for continued updates. Then there's the new shows. Look out for more Decipher, Wordsmith, Hold a Meds with the Ankh Doctor, and weekly episodes of Quarantine Convos focused on health, wellness, education, and inspiration for our community. As always, the gotkushTV film team is available for hire to cover all your events, adverts, infomercials, and all filming needs. Visit us at gotkushTV.com for higher inquiries and more information. Stand by all black businesses through our website, social media, and show content. We have monumental advertising, sponsorship, and network opportunities catering specially for you. Check out the advertising page on gotkushTV.com for more information. gotkushTV is in full flight to join us for the ride. There's 4 things you can do. Subscribe to our channel. Hit that bell to make sure you don't miss a release. Join us on all social media and hit up gotkushTV.com to subscribe to our mailing list and sign up to become a gotkushTV member for exclusive opportunities in the near future. Let us know you are feeling our content by hitting that ever so important button of approval. Comment. We want to hear your feedback on everything we are putting out. So make sure your presence is felt in the comment section. Share. Spread the word by hitting that share button and exposing your circle to the magnificence that is gotkushTV. We are looking forward to building with you throughout 2021 and servicing you with high quality black media production. gotkushTV, beyond discussion, beyond debate, we put the power in black media. Blacktricity, gotkushTV's exclusive pre-Kwanzaa showcase is now available for you to watch absolutely free. In conjunction with Ghana, the On the Return series, we have brought the African diaspora experience directly to you. To watch this monumental event absolutely free, simply register for membership at gotkushtv.com and you will receive access to Blacktricity as well as more exclusive content, including Reggie Rockstone, Yusufu Jallo, VVN, Malaku Selassie, Daddy Makes Dough, Tods, King Wiz, Tubada, Ras Ashiba, Mama Sia, Brother Leader Bandaka, Israel, Sister Moots, Carla Marie, Yemaya Sankofa, Goldflow, and a special Voyage to Motherland panel discussion. All this and more, hosted by Nat Nye and Stella B. Register now at gotkushtv.com.
Should more African nations join the Year of Utaya?
I would say every descendant of Africa should go home.
But the same things are happening. The tax money is still coming back to Europe.
How do we contribute to the decolonization of Africa?
So if Africa is our focus, are we then neglecting the Caribbean?
The year returned so successful, 1.9 billion. 1.9 billion. All of a sudden, the whole world shut down.
Making sure that people on the continent see the real picture of how we live here.
Welcome from Ghana, Accra.
Enter the cipher.
Quarantine Convos. Enjoy weekly discussions with people from around the world, assisting us in dealing with this normal, mentally, spiritually, and physically. We feature nutritionists, psychologists, therapists, personal trainers, home educators, legal experts, and more, bringing you all the information and inspiration you need. Check out Quarantine Convos every Thursday from 7 p.m. live on gotkushTV.